Hi, I'm Father Tom Willis, the rector of the Cathedral Basilica of St. Augustine. It's Monday, and in a few days, on Saturday, May the 16th, we will finally be able to open our cathedral again for the public to be able to come and participate in the celebration of the sacrifice of the Mass. By the time we get to that weekend, it would have been 8 weeks since we last gathered for the celebration of the Eucharist. I'm sure that, like many of you, I am very, very happy and excited that this time has finally come to us. And yet, in the face of all that we have been through over these last 8 weeks, we know that the COVID-19 pandemic is not over. And so government and health officials continue to tell us that even as we begin gathering again, we have to make sure that we take the precautions that are necessary. And so when you come to Mass this week at the cathedral or at St. Benedict's, I want to let you in on what you can expect. First of all, it will be the normal Mass schedule. The Sunday Vigil Mass on Saturday evening at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Sunday morning in the cathedral at 7, 9, and 11. 8 o'clock at St. Benedict the Moor in Lincolnville. And 5 p.m. again here on Sunday afternoon at the cathedral. The pews will be marked so that you know where you can sit in order to be able to socially distance yourself from others. Note that we will be using every other pew, so half of the pews are going to be blocked off from you being able to use those to sit in. As well, you'll notice that on the floors of the churches, spaces have been marked in order for you to understand what 6 feet is, so that when it comes time for the distribution of Holy Communion, you can socially distance yourself from the person in front of you. Particularly in the cathedral, one of the most important things for you to know is this. The door you enter by is also going to be the door through which you will exit. The nave of the cathedral will be marked so that we can seat there people who are singles or couples who come to Mass. Particularly for those of you with 3 or more in your family who will be gathering, we'll ask you to use the doors of the east and west wings of the church and sit in the 2 transepts. Keep in mind that the basic precautions that we have been taking all of this time are still in force. If you are sick, please do not come out. If you are over 65 and especially have any of the underlying risk conditions that have been consistently focused upon through this pandemic, we encourage you to not come because the Mass will still be available on our cathedral's Facebook page. Know that we will be taking every precaution possible because our staff will make sure that the church is as clean as possible so that when you come in, you don't have to worry about, did somebody touch that before I sat down here? We'll be doing our best to make sure that all of the surfaces are wiped down after each Mass so that the church is ready before you come in for the celebration of the Eucharist. It's also important for you to remember that Bishop Esteves has not lifted the dispensation concerning the obligation to attend Mass on Sundays and holy days. So if you miss Mass because of the pandemic, you have not sinned. There's no need to feel guilty about it. There's no need to confess it when you finally are able to get to the sacrament of penance again. Some other things that I want to make sure that we cover for you is that we are asking all of you who come to Mass to please bring a face mask or some other kind of covering and plan on using it while you are here for Mass. The only time we'll ask that you take it off is when you receive Holy Communion. And again, when you come for Holy Communion, the same rules that Bishop Estevez had established for us prior to us having to curtail the celebration of public masses are still in force. Communion will only be given under one form, and everyone must receive the host in their hand. These precautions that we are taking will continue to help us be able to gather as the people of God, even in the limited way that we will be able to do in the weeks ahead of us. On Monday, May the 18th, we will begin celebrating weekday Mass again. And for the time being, that Mass will remain at 8 o'clock. Sometime by the summer, we hope that it will move back to 7 o'clock. But beginning Monday, May the 18th, for those of you who regularly attend Mass at 8 o'clock, or on the weekdays, Mass will be at 8 a.m. The same social distancing requirements will be needed on our weekday Masses as we have established for our Sunday Masses. We are looking forward to seeing you once again. May God continue to bless you, your families, and all the families of the Cathedral Parish.